in a corporate club where she got the Toastmasters bug and quickly expanded to multiple club memberships. Michelle has served in many club and district officer roles. She has been married for 23 years to her supportive husband and has 3 kitty babies. Outside of Toastmasters, she spends time with her 3 beautiful daughters that are the topics of many of her speeches. She enjoys volunteering with the Special Olympics, supporting her 16-year-old daughter with autism, as well as watching football with her 2 older Texas A&M Aggie daughters. Please help me welcome
Hello, everyone. Well, I could say that MJ gave you the quick brief that everything I'm going to tell you in his little snippet, so we're done. No, thank you very much for letting me present today as your quality contest chair. It is partially my responsibility to make sure you guys are ready to host a contest. This can be everything from hosting a club contest to chairing our district level contests. They all have pretty much the same guidelines, the same purpose, the same needs. So I am going to go over a few things. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to minimize my screen somehow. Fix that. Sorry about that. Okay, see, I'm all prepared, and then this happens. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Take 2. If it can go, see, work is law. If it can't go, it will. So today we're going to talk about a few things. The basic agenda or overview is going to be the contest dates, which is very important when we're holding our contest. Overview of a responsibility list for the contest chair, how to chair a contest, what the basic timeline of hosting that, chairing that contest looks like, what approvals you need from the quality contest staff or program quality staff, and then some resources that you can use to make your life so much easier. We are not by any means throwing you to the fire. However, I know it feels like that. Someone says, hey, would you chair a contest? And you're like, sure, that doesn't sound too hard. It really isn't. It may seem overwhelming, but quite honestly, it is easy peasy. Okay, maybe not easy peasy, maybe just easy peasy. Anyway. Okay, my sad attempts of humor. I am no Jim Key. I will say, whenever MJ told me I had to be second, I was like, really? You're going to make me follow Jim Key? Couldn't we do it the other way? I mean, seriously.
I'm just your warm-up.
Because my information is so much more interesting. Okay, so the overview of the dates. This is really, really important. Club contests should be happening now. Honestly, some clubs may have even done it in December, which is outstanding. You knew it was coming in the spring. So this is your chance. Your club contest should be happening now through no later than the 17th, honestly, preferably the 10th. Area contests begin on February the 24th. You do not want, as a club, to have your contest literally the week before the area contest. There's multiple reasons for that. First of all, your competitor doesn't have the time to prepare. You want them, if they're winning your contest, great. But you've given them feedback, right? You want them to have some time to incorporate that feedback, edit their speech a little bit, and then be able to confidently present at the next level. So don't wait until the last minute. For one, for your contestant's sake. 2, for the contest chair's sake. My goodness gracious, there is nothing like trying to put together a contest and say, do you have a contestant? Hey club, do you have a contestant? And no one knows. We're having our contest the Thursday night before. We have stuff we gotta do. We need some time. So if at all possible, leave at least 2 weeks between your contest and the next level. That is best practice. But again, absolute deadline is the 17th. We want to give at least a week to our contest chairs for area so that they know who their contestants are and they can get out all the essential paperwork. So area contests are from February 24th through March 9th. This year, we have elected upon what we've called festival style, meaning everybody is doing it at the same place at the same time. So for those of you that are concerned about the location, we are still confirming it. The district is helping to coordinate your locations for, well, everybody but Eastern, because Eastern is kind of way out there. We don't want to make them drive all the way into Dallas. They're kind of their own little wonderful group. Hey, that's okay. They've got their own needs, and I'm talking to you, Kelly. I know you're on there. We love you. Exactly. We love Eastern. It's just we don't want y'all to have to drive all the way to Dallas just to do your area. That makes no sense. It's as I said, festival style. So what will happen is on February 24th and March 3rd, we are going to have all-day contests. Literally from 9 a.m. to 5, 6 p.m., depending on what time your division or your area chose, which I will show you the actual schedule in a moment and how to find that schedule. Depending on when that was chosen for, we will have 5 rooms that says, okay, all of Town North is going to be in here back to back to back. All of Frontier is going to be in this room back to back to back to back. So we don't have to worry about changing locations. You guys can share resources. You can share judges. You can share timers. You can share all of that. Yes, March 2nd. Did I say March? Oh, sorry, March 3rd. March 2nd. Thank you. That's right. There's a leap day this year. So February 24th and March 2nd are the area contests. I say through March 9th because I don't know exactly when area contests will happen for Eastern. So I'm allowing that extra week for them to decide on when their area contests will be. Division contests will be March 22nd through April 6th. It will not be an all-day deal. It's kind of a weekend and then another weekend. So that way we can spread them out and everybody has the chance to attend everything for division. District table topics will be on the Thursday evening of conference, and that is April the 18th. And then district international contest is on the Friday night of conference, which will be April 19th. And there's a big special surprise for the 20th. I'm keeping that a secret. Yes.
Where are the division contests?
The division contest, with all hope, will also be at UTD, okay. With the exception of Eastern, which if I can go to the next, there we go. You can't really see it, it's just a screenshot, but I can tell you. On the District 50 webpage, if you look under contest dates or contest schedule, this beautiful little, not this one, but it's a similar chart, tells you all the dates and times of every single contest, with the exception of Eastern, that's still so TBD. So please, Eastern, if you're on, let me know ASAP where you're going to have your contest. The only one that will not be, that is not, they'll have already been scheduled, is Eastern's division. So they know where their division is going to be, but not quite where their area is. But all of the locations, all of the times, all of the flyers, everything that's contest needed will be on the District 50 webpage under the contests section. There's tabs that are so beautifully organized for the contest chair, for the contest judge, for the contest dates, for the contest master. All you gotta do is click the appropriate tab that you need. All right, so now that we've talked about all the dates, because I know that's really important, let's talk about responsibilities as a chair. What do I do to have a contest? I'm gonna give you the basic responsibilities. And it's funny that Mr. Key talked about the speech contest book, because guess where the responsibilities of the contest chair are? In the speech contest book. So what I did is I pulled out the key bullets out of, there's actually a paragraph, which I originally took a paragraph, and I was like, that's not so great on a slideshow. As a contest chair, your main job responsibilities are to plan the contest, make room and audio arrangements, and then audio visual equipment is working. Like now on this, there's a little star. District 50 is helping you with that. We are going to help you with locations. We are also going to help you with AV skills. People like this wonderful man over here who's taking care of the AV skills today. We'll have a team of people at the contest that will assist in that manner. We would not leave you, especially this is the first time we're going hybrid, we're not going to leave you hanging. Conduct pre and post Publicity. What is publicity? If no one comes to your contest, that's a pretty darn bad contest. You know, we found out a minute ago, it's just better just to invite Jim. He'll bring 250 people with him. No, you need to put a flyer together. You need to advertise on Facebook. Tell your clubs, have your clubs tell their friends and family and the man in the kitchen that you go to for the restaurant that you meet at, or the librarian for the library that you meet at. Anybody is welcome to a contest. You never know when that little Toastmasters bug will sneak into somebody that's not even a member, because you can attend contests. All of our contests are free of charge. We want you to attend. And when it says post contest, this is not necessarily a requirement, but it is good to get a little feedback, right? Go back out and say, hey, did you enjoy the contest? What can I have done better? Did we, don't forget that next level is here. Those are the kind of post publicity things. And ensure all the roles are filled. Now, we all know this one, right? You got to make sure you have a contest master and your timers and your sergeant at arms and, God forbid, your contestants. You want to make sure you have contestants. Ensure each speaker is eligible to compete and is familiar with the contest rules. It's so funny how many things Jim said this evening, but I was like, yep, I'm going to touch on that too. I'm going to touch on that too. It is very important. Now, generally, like you said, as a contest chair, we don't think to hand our contestants the judging ballot, but it doesn't hurt. When you're sending them their profile sheet and all this forms you have to fill out, send them a copy of the judging ballot. This is what we are going to be judging you on. You should know that. Send a link. Don't send them the entire thing because no one wants to download 30 some odd pages of the contest book, although it's great reading. I don't encourage you to, make them download it and keep it and print it and all of that jazz in their contest briefing notes. But at least send them the link in advance so that they can review the eligibility rules, the originality rules. I have been at a protest for originality. I have been a chief judge at a protest for originality. And I didn't know doesn't work. If you get pulled over for speeding and you say, I didn't know, is the officer going to not give you a ticket? Probably not. I didn't know is not an answer. Ensure all briefings occur, whether they be prior to the date of the contest, the day of the contest, which is not always suggested, especially in a hybrid environment. Make sure that they occur. But that does not mean you have to specifically do everybody, because the chief judge is responsible for some of the briefings, the contest chair is responsible for some of the briefings, but you want to make sure that they are occurring, that they're scheduled. Make sure awards are presented to your winners. You want to make them feel good, whether it's at your club and it's just a certificate that says, thank you for participating, or you won first place and now you get to represent our club at the next level. You want to make sure that that encouragement at the end is not only for them, but I promise you there are others in the seats that are like, wow, it's a big deal when you win a contest. Maybe next season I'm going to compete. All of those things go together. Although you may have a committee to do this, and I encourage that you do, don't try to do everything yourself. I say that as a person who likes to try to do everything herself. It's okay to have a committee, but it is still your ultimate responsibility to ensure that those things are done. So that is literally the things that are in the speech rule book. Let's look a little more detailed now. We can talk about timing. 4 to 6 weeks before the contest. As of today, we are 6 weeks prior to contest. I did send out, for those of you that are area directors and division directors, you should have received an email from me this week that had all kinds of information, which I am going to touch upon again today, but it had when your dates are, what you're responsible for doing, and it had this wonderful checklist, which is like an Excel document that literally will break everything down to you like this. When do you do it? 4 to 6 weeks before, 2 weeks before, 1 week before, day of. It's a great little spreadsheet. All you got to do is type the date of your contest and boom, it'll auto-populate and have everything saying you should have this done by this date. Didn't have that as area director, but I'm not gonna be too jealous. So secure the location of a contest. Again, I know as area directors and division directors, contest chairs, y'all are freaking out. We don't have a location. We don't have a location. Right now it's between one of two. We're just waiting on the confirmation. We are preferring that it's UTD because our district is very familiar with UTD. We have done many contests and TLI and all kinds of activities at UTD. We are just waiting because unfortunately they were on Christmas break. We're still waiting for that confirmation. Second location would probably be Bank of America, but we are, like I said, waiting. You will be notified as soon as everything is confirmed. Other than the location secure, you guys are on. Advertise for your contest. Select your contest officials. And by officials, I mean not only your contest manager, your timers, ballot counters, sergeant at arms, all of that. You do not have to worry about judges. Your chief judge will take care of your judges. Our district chief judge is working on getting the chief judge assigned for each contest, and then the chief judge will kind of work on getting your judges. So you do not have to worry about that. Get the contested names from each club. So as an area director, your job is to run your own contest. Usually, one of your responsibilities as an area director is to be the chair of your contest. You want to make sure you reach out to your clubs, make sure they're having their fair contests, and of course, get the names of their winners. There is a caveat here, and this is a big thing that's also in the speech rule. You do not have to hold a contest to send a contestant. Some clubs elect to just say, hey, Joe is going to represent us, that he is our representative. And that is absolutely okay. But if for some reason Joe is not eligible on contest day, you now do not have a representative. You have to have a contest and have a winner, second place, third place, so forth. You've heard them say something like the winner or the second place winner and the person who will represent if the person is not available, that's the second place winner or the third place winner or whatever order you need to go to. But you don't have a secondary, third, fourth unless you had a contest. If you are saying, hey, Joe is representing us, Joe better be able to show up, because if Joe doesn't, if Joe can't make it, all of a sudden your club is no longer represented. I just want to make sure y'all understand the difference between a contest and a, whatever the word is when you're yes, a showcase, exactly. Which is great too, because then at least they can give their speech. Sometimes they don't even have that. Sometimes the advanced clubs will be like, yeah, who wants to compete this year? We've been there. Reach out to your assigned chief judge. When you get your assignment, you need to be on the same page with your chief judge. They need to know who your people are. They need to know who your contestants are. They need to make sure who their timers are, who their ballot counters are. They want to know all of that. They need information about the agenda. They need the speaking order. They need all of that stuff. So please stay lockstep with your chief judge. Create a contest program and or agenda, and arrange for any food or snacks. We got a beautiful display of snacks. This is the best thing about going back in person. I don't know about y'all. I missed some of the great lunches we've had at contests, especially this year. Now that we are doing this back-to-back thing, literally areas that are going on the same day can work together and be like, hey, you guys take care of this and I'll take care of this, and y'all can team up. And that's what we were kind of hoping for, is that sharing of resources and not giving up 6 to 8 weekends for contests, but just 2.
Point of clarification.
Yeah.
Some clubs are so small that they can't pull in enough people to get judges or 2 ballot counters or 2 timers and so forth. But they still go through the formal process of holding a showcase.
Yes.
So they have 3 contestants in each category.
That's still a contest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
what they said.
Well, I'm just saying you can have a showcase as long as there are judgings of some sort. If it is judged and there is a winner in a second place and a third place, that is a contest.
Okay.
Yes.
Also, if the club is small,
Yes.
if the club is small, you can always invite outside dignitaries or other club or area directors that you're partners with or the club knows to come and be guest judges
Absolutely.
or role holders, so that can help.
No, we know that.
Yeah.
We just aren't able to recruit.
To get as much. And just as a stipulation, a lot of the requirements are for area and above. A club level contest, it says obtain 2 ballot counters when able. There is caveat. We know that not every contest has enough people in there. I mean, every club has enough people in their club to say, I have, 6 contestants and 2 ballot counters and 7 judges. Yeah, that is not going to happen. But as long as it is a contest, meaning you did have a winner, first, second, and third place, then you have that backup. But if you just identify somebody and you say, hey, this person is going to represent us, then you don't have that backup.
Okay.
That's the clarification. Hopefully that answers that
No,
question.
it does.
Good. So we went through that. So next, the week before the contest, so that 4 to 6 weeks, there's a lot of just getting details and kind of putting logistics in place and who, when, where, and why. The week before is when you really start getting things fine-tuned. You want to confirm all your contestants. Make sure, again, that they have that eligibility requirement. You want to make sure that you have your roll holders assigned and confirmed. Maybe have a couple backups if you can. Printing materials. Be leery of printing agendas until that very last thing, because those things can change. Unfortunately, I've been in the district for 10 years now, and I can tell you, I don't think I've ever printed an agenda prior to like the day before, because I want to make sure, and then still sometimes the day of you're scratching someone off the agenda. It happens. So make sure that everything is approved and ready before you print your materials for agenda. However, your bio forms, your originality forms, all of the basic stuff, your certificates, all of that can be printed that week before. Confirm any necessary resources, meaning, hey, do we have timers? Like, are we going to use stopwatches, or are we going to just let them use their phone, which is absolutely okay now? Just want to confirm you have that. Do you have a flag if you're going to do the pledge? Do you have red, yellow, green cards to show for your speech? Those are the resources I'm speaking of, which of course says arrange for timing, lights, and cards. Schedule and complete any necessary briefings that week before. We have found, honestly, the one bonus of COVID was starting to have briefings before the contest. We have, for many, many years, hey, contest starts at 7, briefings are at 6, you need to be there. And then we're walking around going, hey, judges come here, judges are tabletop, contestants over here. We don't have to worry about that if you get all that done prior to the contest. It's a lot less stressful on contest day. So you may want to hold those the week before the contest. Again, because we are all working together, you might be able to have one briefing for your entire division, because everybody's information is the same. The briefing information is the same for everybody. The only difference between each contest is going to be the speaking order. But the general rules and the general briefing are exactly the same. So don't put everybody through 17 briefings. Just have one big briefing meeting for Frontier and be done with it. Let's see. Day of the contest. Arrive early. That should go without saying. If you're the contest chair, you can't be walking in, literally 2 minutes before the contest is supposed to start, because your job is to coordinate, make sure that if you have that committee, the committee is taking care of you. The committee is doing the things that need to be done. Set up the refreshments before, because you want people to be able to munch and mingle before your contest starts. Yes, ma'am.
Would it be a good idea to have a committee to help you with that?
Yes, that's what I said. If you have a committee, do that. For sure. You don't have to physically do all of these. These are just things you are responsible for. Delegation is key. Distribute agendas to all the contest officials. I cannot stress this enough. If you only have a certain amount of agendas printed, make sure that your chief judge and judges are the first ones that get some before anybody else. Contest officials need that agenda. They need the speaking order. They need who's doing what. They need who their timers are. They need that. Then the rest can go to everybody else. Yes.
Do you have any idea of how to estimate how many of those?
Oh, that is hard, especially this year. I think is going to be a very hard. And what she asked was, how do I know how many to print? Well, in the history, we'd had anywhere from 20 to 50. Yeah, 20 to 50 at a area contest. 30 to 50, yep.
My encouragement is make sure you have enough agendas, judges first,
Yeah,
and anything beyond that is a bonus.
this is true. But I would say 30 to 50, yes, sir. That works too. Look at you being all techie. Jim said, great idea. Go ahead and create a version of it, create a QR code for it. So that way, if you run out, they can scan the QR code and they have the agenda on the phone. Because as a just typical audience participant, you just want to see it. Your officials need the physical copy so they can make notes or do whatever they need to do. Any other questions of, oh my goodness, yes. Yes, there are, and I will absolutely show you where those are. Yes.
Double check the spelling of the contestant's name.
Yes, for sure.
Make sure.
Double, triple, quadruple.
All the stuff that has to be printed.
Yes.
For those of us who have atrocious printers that would get ink over everyone's, is there any sort of budget? Do we just have to go out and beg a printer or just fork over the money for it? How does that work?
Good question. I'm going to give that to our program quality director. Yes. Yeah. Utilize. I'm gonna pull my Girl Scout card. Use resources wisely. I'm sure somebody in your club has a printer at home and or they work at a I can print 15 copies. It's not that big of a deal. When we get to larger ones, we are gonna print stuff like the district contest. The district prints all that stuff for us. At an area contest, you know, talk to your other area director. Hey, does anybody work somewhere that can let us print these? Use those resources wisely. Let's see. Open the contest. That is your job. You get to bask in the glory of I'm the contest chair. I get to call this contest to order. Yes, Tom. Oh, okay. Let's see. We had which questions? How many to print? Where to print? Is there a budget for printing at the area level and division level? We think there might be a small budget, and I'll make sure we take that as an action item to confirm, and I'll send out a communication on that. But otherwise, I said use resources wisely. I think that was all the questions that yes. Check spelling of names. Yes, somebody did mention in the printing, please verify the spelling of people's names and their education levels. Next.
I'm sorry, before your contestants' names, do not put education level.
I'm getting to that. I'm absolutely getting to that. Approval process. So since we do have a wonderful website that we post the agendas for you, so you can, of course, have the agenda link on the webpage. You can even pull it up on your phone the day of and just pull it up that way if you don't have the snazzy QR code, or you can print it in advance, whatever the case may be. But all flyers and agendas need to be approved by the quality contest team. You will send the flyers and agendas to quality contest at d50tm.org, and whether myself or Tia will validate that you meet these rules. And I put these, you can even check for yourself before you send it so you know it will be approved. Once approved, we will take care of getting it posted. So that way we don't have 75 people emailing our webmaster. He is gonna wait for word from myself or Tia that says Area 32 is approved, Area 31 is approved.
Yep. Repeat this question, statement. Do you already have people who have submitted flyers to you already?
I have one who is absolutely phenomenal, and he's like, "Hey, where's my approval? Where's my approval?" And I was like, "Well, we don't have a location, so I can't."
But no one with the question.
But generally, yes, absolutely great job on getting things in advance. I love it. There's really people that are on the ball. So the approval for printing your agendas, Toastmasters branding, it should say Toastmasters International or the logo or something on it to prove that it is a Toastmasters event. You need to list your area or division, number and or name, the date and contest time, location, exact address, please. Chief judge should be listed. This is for the agenda. Make sure that on the roll holders, the chief judge, order of contestants, table topics first, and then international. We will do the contest in that way. Contestant names should be listed in alphabetical order
By first or last?
by
Last name.
by last name. Alphabetical order by last name with no education level. When it comes to the contestants, we cannot list anything about their education level. We will not know that until they interview the contestants at the end. Helpers' names on the left-hand side, those can have education levels, absolutely. Your area division announcements, if there's any breaks, pauses, things like that. The notation of the date, time, location of the next level. Usually at the bottom of your agenda, it'll say something like the winners of this contest will be competing at XYZ on XYZ date. So that way your winners know who's going to go where. And then theme is optional. I enjoy doing a themed contest, but it's not at all required. For flyer approval, it's very similar. You want your area or division contest type. You want to say, hey, table topics and international contest. The branding, again, you should always put some form of logo or Toastmasters name on the on Toastmasters International. They have an entire branding section. Like all of the little logos I put up here, I literally pulled right off of Toastmasters International. They have PNG versions, they have GIF versions, they have every version you can possibly imagine. They even have the appropriate hex colors for your, even though this was just a Google slide, I literally could change the color. I went to Toastmasters International and said official hex color, and the true maroon, whoop, was the colors for Toastmasters. Yeah.
Oh, I can follow this. We'll go ahead and put the link up there so they can get their next 15. We'll put that colors and we'll put them.
Yeah, we can put that in the contest. Yeah.
Very nicely put together in
Yeah, there's a
You may
beautiful.
not be able to find it. We'll put it on.
Yeah, we can put exactly, the brand manual has everything you need. So what Kim said is we will put online, we will link to it on our website so that it's easier to find. But again, TI's website is great. All you gotta do is literally go to the search box and you will find pretty much anything you need. MJ,
If we do a theme,
yes,
if we put a picture of said theme on our agenda,
you could, absolutely.
but in the past, they said, no.
I-
Agenda versus flyer.
I don't see why
Maybe
not.
a logo, not a whole.
Not a, well, I have done, like, on the front agenda, there's usually like a photo area. I have used that photo section in the center to be themed, if it's themed, like if it says welcome to the 80s or something like that. The flyer is definitely the better place to promote your theme, but you can put one picture on the front. I would not change the entire agenda, but yes, you should be able to do that. So the question was, can you put pictures on your agenda that support your theme? There's not a whole lot of room on the agenda anyway, but if so, it could go on the front cover. You can put a picture. Any other questions? For refreshments, you may want to put on your flyer refreshments provided, like refreshments provided, whatever. Any contact info. This is very important. At the bottom of your flyer, you need to put who the key contact person is about questions about your contest. Therefore, if the contestants have a question, or the time where your contest officials have questions, or just people in general have questions, they're going to come to me and ask about your contest. I don't know. I need you to put your contact information. It does not have to be a phone number. That was actually on the checklist prior. I personally don't want my cell phone number all over everybody's website, but at least your email. Okay. I cannot imagine. I mean, if you're willing to give your phone number, and some people are, hey, text me, no problem. But I don't want. I get enough junk spam on my phone, so there's that.
Yes, put their area director email instead of
Yeah.
personal.
You could put your area director. Well,
If you're the
oh
area
yeah. If you are an area director, you can use your alias email, the adlaw@d15tm.org. If you are not, you need to use a personal one. If you're not if you have somebody else being the chair for you, then they can put your email, but you need to make sure you're responding. Any list of the clubs that are participating and or areas. So therefore, for the area 61 contest or area 31 contest, you want to put the names of the clubs. Give those clubs a call out. We want to get as much recognition out there as possible, whether or not as possible, whether or not they're sending, even if they are not sending a contestant, you can say this area represents these 5 clubs or 4 clubs or 6. And then again, the theme is optional. It is fun. We have had some outstanding themes in the past. Believe me, I got to dress up like Cindy Lauper once for a contest master, and it was the best contest ever. I just had so much fun. Any questions about the approval process? Online, any questions about the approval approval process? Okay, if you do have any questions, obviously, quality contest at dmystifies.org. We'll get myself and Tia an email. Resources. Now, I'm not expecting you to write these down. I will send out this deck after if you'd like, which has all these links. But these are some of these great resources. The contest chair checklist, which is, like I said, it's a spreadsheet, which I will bring up in a little bit. I mean, after I finish this, I can pull it up and show you what it looks like. But it's just an Excel document that has a tab for each of the time periods. It'll say week of contest, 4 to 6 weeks prior, things like that. But there is a notes page on the very first page of that document that explains how to use the document. Please read that, because it'll say, hey, put this in here and everything else is great. The District 50 contest resource page is the page that is run by our district, and it is a plethora of information. The Toastmasters International resources. There is even contest tutorials on Toastmasters International. Do not overlook what a great resource the TI website is. We can make D50 as best as we can, but I'm telling you, TI knows everything there is to know about what their contests look like. And as we've said before, the biggest and most important is the speech contest rulebook, because that is where all of the requirements are listed. All of the ifs, ands, buts. If it's listed, it's a rule. It's not. I have unfortunately been at a few contests where people tend to make up their own rules. And I'm like, where did that rule come from? One of them specifically, this is hilarious to me, is the speaking areas. Yes, you have to define a speaking area for your contestants, but that does not mean they can't step outside of that speaking area. They can go wherever they want. Now, it's their choice. They have to deal with the repercussions. If I am an online person and I go outside of my speaking area and they can't even see me anymore, the judges will probably count off. But there is no rule that says, you have to stay in this boundary, because if not, you're disqualified. And I've heard that I don't know how many times, but it is not true. You can go anywhere. I remember, I think my first year as a Toastmaster, I was at our district contest, and someone jumped off the stage into the audience just for effect. And everybody, I heard this whole, he just disqualified. I was like, he did? Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Why would he not do that? It's not a rule. It's not in the rule book. The defining of the area is comfortable with the presence of the stage that they have. So any questions about resources? All right. Well, then what I am going to do is pull up, if y'all can see this, maybe. Yes, this is the checklist that I talked about. Now, all of the area directors and division directors, I attached this to the email that I sent, as well as it is linked on our D50 webpage under contest chair resources. But this is a phenomenal document. There's a note page that explains how to use it. There's a cover page that literally you fill in the date right here, and everything behind there will populate with the dates that you should be getting that finished by. Now, we all know that life is imperfect. 6 weeks prior, you should have this. Well, today is 6 weeks. Some of us, we don't even have a location. Life happens. But this is a great guideline of how to run your contest. There is a 6 weeks prior. There is a 4 weeks prior, 2 weeks prior, week of. There's just everything you can think. Sometimes as the contest chair, you don't even remember all the things. You're like, oh my gosh, what do I need to do? This is breaking it down for you. I really wish I'd have had this tool as an area director when I first started. I also have a, which is inside the folders. For those of you that are here, this document is inside your folders. I can absolutely put it online or submit it in the chat. It is literally the same thing. It is just in a quick reference, not on a multi-sheeted Excel document. Just saying, have I done this? Have I done this? Have I done this? Questions? I think that is all of my meat and potatoes. So we have a little bit of time for questions. Yes. No problem.
The schedule of the briefing.
Yes.
I don't know how I've managed to get by so far with never having to schedule the briefing. People have always been able to do that. How do we do that?
Well, there are, if you need a Zoom meeting, if you don't have your own Zoom account, you can reach out to myself and or our IT resources and say, hey, the area so-and-so needs a Zoom meeting. And they can give you exactly. They will give us the yeah. And then we can, they'll send it and then all we have to do is forward it out. We will also put it on our calendar, the district calendar. The main thing is letting us know when that briefing is. As the quality contest chair, I'd love to know when your briefing is so that I can post, we can make sure that it's on the calendar. But again, I really encourage everybody to do it together instead of Area 31 doing one, Area 32 doing one, Area 33. You can do them all together. Whoever is meeting on the first Saturday of on the 24th, maybe on the 22nd, all of those clubs have their briefing, or all of those areas have the briefing. On the 2nd, maybe on the 29th, or something like that, you have those briefings. There is still going to be an in-person piece, because once you are in person, we need to define speaking area. We need to make sure that the speakers can see the timers. You need to make sure that logistics in your room are taken care of. So there's probably a little bit that will be done that day, but general rules and the need to do this and all that can be done prior. Yes.
Wow, with what you just said, then we're scheduled to start at 9 a.m. Have people there at 8 a.m.
Yes.
So we can.
Yes, 8:30 at least. Yeah. I mean, if you're doing your if you've done all your judges briefings and huge briefings before, literally it's just a quick touch base. Make sure that they've been introduced to the contest master, make sure that they see where they're speaking from, make sure they know where the timers are, just kind of a quick run through. I think the question. Yeah, he said the question was, if we are meeting that day, if my contest is starting at 9, should we have people arrive early? The answer is yes. You always want to actually start it early anyway, because you want people to, come, have some refreshments, mingle, get comfortable so that you can start on time. Being that we are hosting our contest back to back, it is imperative that we start on time because we don't want to run into somebody else's contest. Granted, at the area level, I think we have given up 2.5 hour block, which should be more than enough time for an area contest. But again, you never know what's going to happen if there's a protest or if there's, what's going to happen. You have a question? I thought I saw you raising your hand.
I did. I was just going to say, and you should have, I would schedule an hour and a half before. That's just me, because those briefings can be social as well as social. And we're back to in person.
I just try to keep people from having to show up at 7:30.
Oh, no. For the 9 a.m., I would say at 8, you need to be there by 8. You need to start setting things up and have things. That briefing should be no later than 8:30 so that you have 10, 15 minutes to brief, and then we're going to start in X time. Have a sergeant at arms give that time, like 10 minutes to contest start. When I first came to the district, that's the reason I remember MJ. He was the district sergeant at arms that year, or whatever it's called, logistics manager now. But man, when he said, ladies and gentlemen, 5-minute warning, I was like, wow, this guy's got it going on. I knew what was happening. I thought that was how it was supposed to be. And then I saw this, I'm like, oh, they're not as good as MJ. It's the similarities there, buddy. It's the similarities. Yes.
So I think 2 things that we could keep with.
Yes.
One, for for briefings, we do have a script that can help people.
Yes.
Say within 30 minutes, you can get a briefing knocked out.
Yes, agreed.
Can you repeat that, please?
First of all,
Can you repeat that, please?
First of all, there is a briefing document, and again, it's briefings. It will tell you when, who, what, and you can get it done in 30 minutes or less if you just follow the script.
The second thing is that since we're doing back-to-back contests, the second contest that's not going first, they may have to do a briefing outside the room if the contest is still going and there's not 30 minutes. If there's only 15 minutes, then we need to meet outside the room.
Just to do logistically. In case the contest, that's a good point. Kim said it, because our meetings are back to back, there may be that the first contest is running a little long and you can't go in and be like, hey, y'all got to stop because I got to do my briefing. It's not going to work that way. Maybe meet right outside in the hallway, give them the basics, and then say, when we go inside, I'll just show you the speaking area. You can do that easily. But again, with the time that we scheduled in between, I really think we'll be okay. Yeah, I mean, especially because we don't have as many clubs in each area as we used to have. So we'd only have maybe 4 to 5 contestants instead of 6 or 7. Yes. That is a good question. The question was, what is a briefing for? There are certain rules that you're supposed to tell everybody about. So there, as a contest chair, it is your job to brief the contestants, the sergeant at arms, and not really brief the timers, but you need to make sure that your timers are available for you during your briefing. The chief judge will brief his judges, the ballot counters, and the timers. There's 2 different types of briefings for the timers. One is for like how I need you to fill out my timing sheet, because as the chief judge, I need you to do this, and I want you to write down this, make sure you raise the card at this time, those kind of rules. From the contest chair side, it's, hey, can you show them the green light? Can you show them the red light? Can you show them that kind of thing? Just so that the contestants, there is basic rules, and have you signed all your forms? Do you understand the originality? Do you understand how protests can be lifted? If a contestant has a protest, who they're allowed to protest to, things like that. Speaking order is part of the briefing, but I kind of mentioned that the speaking order is a per contest thing. Well, like I said, you can share a briefing because you're sharing all of the same generic information, but when it comes to the speaking order, that needs to be per area or per contest. Does that answer your question first?
Script you follow.
Yes.
It's not like you're making it up.
No.
You're reading off the script.
So here's my just 2 advice. One thing is a question, one is an advice.
Yes.
Please paraphrase people can.
Yes.
1, if you're a first-time area director or contest chair, ask around in your division or outside your division. If Cleet is not in the same division as Dan, and Dan's like, I got this, he's doing, go to his briefing.
Absolutely.
He will let you, because he has seen this done before too, because he's been a first.
So that what Kim just said, just to clarify what Kim just said, if this is your first time and you've never done this before, there are plenty of resources. Go to one of your other area directors, go to your division director, go to other area directors. But your division director, I promise you, has been to a contest before, has run a contest before, or at least I hope. I don't think we have any brand new, like never seen a contest division directors. Usually you don't step into that type of role as a brand newbie. So there are resources. God forbid, reach out to me. I can answer questions about what the briefing is and how that works.
You're going to have office hours.
I am. That is a great point.
You're going to what?
I am. Oh, sorry. The question is, am I going to have office hours? I just assume you guys can hear online. Yes, in the emails that I sent to my area directors and division directors, the dates were in here. But for those of you that are on the phone or in person that were not a part of that email, they're just here because you want to hear my lovely speech and Jim's great speech. The week of the 22nd, I'm going to have to look at my dates now. It's the Wednesday, I think it's the 24th. I think it's January 24th, and then it's February 9th or 7th. It's 2 weeks later on that Thursday. It's a Wednesday and a Thursday, and the dates are in that email I sent, but also we will put them on the district calendar. And all that open hours is, it's not going to be a speech like this. I am literally going to sit on the phone, and if you have any questions, you join. You say, hey, I'm really freaked out. I don't know what certificates. Where do I get certificates? I'm there for you. I can tell you exactly where to find them. I can tell you what to do, when to do, how to do. The district chief judge will be on that same call so that we can have questions to him if there's any logistical questions that you may have. So thank you for that.
Michelle?
A slew. A slew. I love that. I am going to show you this wonderful page right here. This is our District 50 contest season page. All of your Lisa, you should have hopefully seen this by now if you have not. So go to District 50, look under programs, you will find program quality, and then you will find contests. This page right here has everything you need to know and stuff that we'll probably be adding as we go on, going, you know what, that's beneficial for everybody. The chief judge's information has the certificate, the rule book, the results form, all of the forms that the judges need. Again, you don't have to worry about that as the chair. The chief judge takes care of that. Contest chair resources. You have all your speech certificates. You have the briefing document that we've talked about. You have that checklist. That very first one is that checklist I just brought up. You have this sign-in sheet, which is great now that we're in person again. Back in the day, we had a little registration desk and people signed in so that at the end of the day, we could go, wow, we had 65 people there. That's awesome. You have the results form, the tally form, the certification form, speech contestant profile, all of the logistical forms that you can print in advance and or email to your contestants in advance. There you go. Your contest master, really the only thing they have is the script. That's their job, is knowing that D50 script. Samples. Someone asked, do we have sample flyers? Do we have sample agendas? Boom, there they are. They're all there. If you have any questions about them, please let me know. The sample flyers even connect, a couple of them connect to Canva, which are beautiful, easy peasy flyers. And they look really fancy, so you look all professional even though you have no clue what you're doing. Yes, ma'am. And we have about 7 minutes. Okay.
Can this be a project for a path if you're a club contest chair?
You know what? It could be. There is a DTM. The question, sorry, I keep forgetting to repeat the question. Someone asked, can this be a DTM project? Can this be a project for your path? You better believe it can. There is a DTM project. There is a high performance project in level 5, and there's DTM projects that can absolutely be used. Go and look at the requirements for it. Work with your quality education person or your VP of education in your club to get that taken care of. Kelly, you have a question online.
Yes, thank you. So we have not done in-person contests for quite some time, and especially at the area and division level. Will there be announcements at the beginning of the contest to let the people who are there know you can't take photos, you cannot record, you should not be talking while the contestants are up there, and a moment of silence means silence, because at the International Speech Contest last year, all of those things were occurring while the contestants were speaking. And I just don't think that, since people haven't been, they don't know.
Yes, there are. I mean, that is actually part of the contest master script. It is in the script that says you are not allowed to take photos. Please turn off your phones. The only person recording the meeting should be the district Zoom person or the Zoom master, the sergeant, senior sergeant at arms, if permission has been granted by the contestants, because some contestants say, I don't want to be recorded. So those announcements absolutely will be given not only at the beginning of the contest, but as part of the contest master speech. And because we are hybrid this time, we need to also announce, when we're announcing our speaking order, we need to say, contestant number 1 is Joe Smith. He is going to be online today. Contestant number 2 is Sally Stacy, and she is going to be in person today because you need to clarify who's online and who's in person for not only your judges, but for your audience so that they know like, oh, okay, no one's coming out, no one's waiting. Is the person waiting in the back? You know, you don't want anybody to be confused. So those announcements will be part of that beginning opening of the contest master, and hopefully people will just follow those rules. Like Jim said earlier, just because you say to turn their phone off doesn't mean they will. It is, I don't know how many times I have heard a phone ring out loud in a contest. And unfortunately, you cannot count that as a protest. You can say, oh, I was distracted, it's not fair. Well, I'm sorry, that's not protestable. Yes, ma'am, Kim has a question.
What places are being awarded at the area division and district level?
Places, good question. So the question is, what places will be awarded? So this is like, who gets the blame? At the area levels, we're going to do first and second. Just in the history, we haven't had 5, 6, 7 contestants, and there is a in the contest rule book, it says if there are 4 or more, then you can do 3 winners if there are, and so forth. Because we are very limited in how many clubs participate. Hopefully this year will be a lot more. We are only going to do first and second at the area level. At the division and the district level, we will do first, second, and third place. Any other questions about contests this year? Again, I am, as your chair, I am absolutely available. I will give you my cell phone, just don't give it to anybody. But you can absolutely reach me via email, and I am more than happy to answer your questions. I wish you absolute success in your contest this year, and I am excited to see the talent coming on stage. Thank you.